technology.
जी
So I'm actually connected to this USB since 2017, and but I didn't actually I like this one very much, but I didn't have any type of explorations, and it's like a silent mode. But after joining the recent workshop at one of the FDP in Bhubaneswar, so then I started exploring more and more into it. Now I am part of these morning sessions also, this 11th batch. So I exploring more and more, and I really the transformative journey for me. I started. So this is very like lot of change I have seen in me. So like within my family members, in my workplace also. I'm also teaching a section in this the first semester undergraduate students. So this actually helps me a lot in my the living. So thank you so much.
very nice, Govinda ji, to hear you that it is fulfilling for you and you are attending morning sessions also. Very nice. So let me start the session with everyone's permission. Namaste. Today again, I welcome you all in the first session of third day of this 9th International Conference in online mode on universal human values in higher education with the significant theme, value-based education for a humane society. We are from different parts of the globe with varied background and versatile experiences. Let's utilize this platform to understand the core concepts of universal human values and to get inspiration from beneficiaries so that we can feel our collective responsibility to integrate the whole world, our mother planet, for a sustainable and compassionate future. The world today is passing through a state of dilemma, managing the aspirations for happiness and prosperity through materialistic accumulation, as well as ensuring the well being of the planet and the rest of the existence. Holistic value based education rooted in universal human values provides a pathway to address both. It bridges the gap between personal fulfillment and collective progress with the right understanding and aligns significantly with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Today, in this fourth keynote address on the topic Implementing Universal Human Values for Holistic Value-Based Education, Fulfilling Human Aspirations, and Addressing Sustainable Development Goals, we will discuss this all in solution-centric manner. It's my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for this session, Shri Rajul Asthanaji, Vice Chairman, NCUHV, former Director, IRC UHVE, IKG PTU Jalandhar, India. Rajulji is also a founder trustee of Universal Human Values Foundation, New Delhi, India. He is the member of National Coordination Committee Induction Program AICT India and a member of Institute of Human Education Sanskar also. His areas of interest are worth mentioning, that is value education, universal human values, natural farming, and corporate learning. He has 28 years of corporate experience in India and USA in systems, management, and learning. Besides, we also expect the presence of Madam Bhavna Gargji, Joint Secretary to Government of India, UIDAI, from Chandigarh, India. Her brilliance we can imagine as she is topper of IS 1999 batch. We feel honored having Bhavna ma'am with us in this session. Hope she joined. जी. So with this, it's now my pleasure to invite Shri Raju Lasthana to deliver his keynote address. During his presentation, if the participants live or on YouTube have any question or reflection for Shri Raju Lasthana or wish to share your thoughts, please keep
कोई नहीं सर,
texting in the
हम
chat
हम ना ऐसा
or
करते
question
हैं, एक
answer
एक पैक
box
बनाते हैं.
or raise your hand.
तो
Your
मेरा
questions will be
हो
taken
गया
up
पैक वाला
by
टाइम.
him appropriately. You are welcome, Shri Raju Lasthana for the fourth keynote address of the conference. Over to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Upasana ji, and warm welcome to all delegates. I understand that we have delegates from 35 different countries, so welcome all. In this session, I'm going to cover a little bit about how we can go about implementing what we have heard over the last 2.5 days, how we can implement universal human values and holistic value-based education. I'm sure most of you would be already in the process of implementing these. So this would be helpful in further refining the efforts, augmenting the efforts. So I'll share a little bit about that. So to start with, you must have gone through the core content through the keynotes. The 4 keynotes, this is the 4th keynote, so the first 3 keynotes covered the core content. Then the sharing sessions were about the application of the core content in everyday living. So you would have seen, if you have gone through the sharing sessions, there were many sharing sessions by individuals as well as institutions, how they have been able to take the learnings from universal human values, how they explored them, how they were able to see that they are naturally acceptable and work on them in their real life, at their individual level, at the family level, at the level of the institution, and so on. So with that background, now we are going to see the little bit about the implementation of how they would have gone through implementing it and how you can make use of this experience and the material that is there that has been developed. So I'm happy to share that this whole effort is a voluntary effort by a very large number of volunteers. So I'll share about the volunteers also. And I will also have few words about the recommendations on how you can start. So let's go into that. If you have any observations or any questions, please feel free to stop me and we can discuss. Okay? We have plenty of time. So this is what we are aiming at the individual level. This is our goal, if you would, that we want to reach to our full human potential, to human consciousness, to a life of happiness and prosperity. So that is what we want to do as individuals. And as a collective, we are interested in a society. We want to work for a society that is humane. So we are going to discuss about the material and the process that has been developed for this transformation. So it is not just a set of things that have to be remembered, but it is something to do with exploring those proposals, imbibing them, seeing them in yourself through this self-reflective process, and then applying it in a natural manner in your own life. So this is what we are aiming for. This has been discussed. Now, in going about it, education plays a very crucial role. It plays the key role in this transformation. So when our education is holistic, it would contain material that would help the student to develop a holistic and humane world vision. And that world vision is founded on the existential reality and not something that has come out of just thought. So it has come out of contemplation, out of understanding, and out of realization. So develop that kind of holistic and humane world vision on the basis of seeing things as they are in the existence, decide on their participation in the whole. So decide their participation with their family, decide their participation with the society, decide their participation with nature. This participation is what is human values. The value of a human being in the larger whole, the participation of a human being in the larger harmony, participation for harmony. With these two, decide on the skills that would be sustainable, that would be leading to uh, not only nature friendly but also human friendly skills that would help the human being, help all of us to live in harmony, skills to live in harmony, skills that would result in expression of the human conduct. With that, this human conduct would be uh, expressed, and the expression of that would be in the form of a humane society. Now, in the current day education, this seems to be lacking, if not completely missing. So we are going to talk about that. The model that we are offering for your exploration is these three components. For the holistic and humane world vision and human values, the universal human values program, the universal human values content, which can be augmented by case studies, examples from the from the tradition, from the living tradition that is still existing. So case studies and examples can augment, that can give confidence that what is being discussed is something which can be lived, people have lived it, and we also aspire to live like that, so we can also live that. So now there is a poll for you, so you can do that poll. But right now we can remove the poll from there. So the third piece of it is about the skills. Of course, the skills are required. So the skills would be nature friendly, they will be sustainable, as well as human friendly. So those human friendly skills are also very important, the nature friendly and human friendly skills. Yeah. So if we combine all this material, it would be education that is holistic and value based. Now we'll see how many of these universities and institutions have implemented these holistic and value based education. And this has been supported in India by the National Education Policy 2020. It also talks about holistic and value-based education. But how to go about implementing it, there is a concrete model that is available. So you can explore into that. So your response to this one is very encouraging, that most of you feel that it is important to ensure human values in education. Almost, and all of you, almost all 86% are giving a rating that it is crucial. And then there is a mixed, of course, there is a mixed response to whether the present day education is holistic and value based. So if the education is holistic and value based, it should result in a humane society. And then there is a third question, that there are still problems, and what is the source of those problems? Is it the lack of skills, or is it the lack of values? So you can see there is a contradiction between these two, uh, isn't it? So you can keep reflecting on it. We'll keep it open. So I would like to hear from any of you, your thoughts so far from the 3 days and what has been proposed so far. Yes. Any observations or questions? Okay, you can keep your
Participants are
questions. If there is
requested
something, then you can come back. Is there anything, Pasnaji?
delegates are requested to raise hands so that we can provide mic. Yeah. Virendra Kumar Thakkar ji here from Pauri Garhwal wish to ask. Yes, Virendra Kumar ji.
Yes, Virendra ji.
Yes, Bhaiya, I think when we talk about this value education, so as far as I know, AICT and UGC have already implemented it in the higher education institutions. But now to complete the other two stages, that is the from value education, we have to move to value-based education and then value-based living. So those tasks need to be taken up. And also, just like in case of Madhya Pradesh, since it has started in at school level, so it needs to be started all over India. And we new
Very true,
this
Virendra ji. That has to be, that definitely has to be done, and that's why this conference is there to help find more people who can, make that transition happen. So good, thank you.
Yes, and I know that members have already this.
Your voice is breaking, Thakurji. So you can write in the chat, we'll respond to that. Okay, so click on this.
Bhaiya,
Yeah.
another
Yes.
delegate from Oman University, Devendra Kumar ji. He is also willing to ask. Devendra ji, most welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
That the what we are observing now, the present we are totally focusing higher education and colleges, university level. But what is the main issue, na root cause? What we observe, this problem is coming from the truly value-based somehow education through the parents. The
Yeah.
present requirement is to work more strictly towards the parents' workshop. It is more requirement because the root values are decaying from families actually more. So we need more workshop. So we need to ask to the government or to recommend from your people sides that
Yeah.
the new generation coming in race or because of
Yeah.
race their values are going down. Even we are teaching them, they are taking these courses as a grades only. The
Yeah.
CGP should be maintained and we should pass. We should go and again they are in again the race only. What we observe in the present society and the main youth
Yeah.
is
It will
racing
take
towards.
time. It will take time, but we have the possibility of reaching out to the next generation's parents is very strong, but reaching out to the present generation parents may be a little bit harder than that, or a lot harder than that. Okay, so both of these have to be done, and there are very good examples. Madhya Pradesh has more than 1 million volunteers in that state of Madhya Pradesh who are working on what you are talking about.
Yes, yes.
So every
But the
every
most
district has
requirement is in
many.
Uttar Pradesh and Bihar.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
two
So
states are
especially,
these two states crucially requiring this.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. And the
Not
both
only,
state governments are not working in toward that side because the both little upper level both state governments are working.
yeah. So slowly, uh, if we set a good example in our universities, in our colleges, in our schools, then it will certainly uh, motivate the states also to take that initiative. So
Exactly. We
what we
also
can do
hope
is
so.
to motivate ourselves,
Yeah,
motivate uh, our institutions to work on it and set a good example, be the
exactly.
role model. So we can certainly do that, and that's how the change will have to go from one individual to their family, and then to the next family, and so on, to
Yes,
the
yes.
institution and all that. So that progression doesn't start with the state, it starts with you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
me. So we have to do that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So as uh, Virendraji already mentioned, when we go about implementing, it will not happen in one step. It will take many steps. And broadly, we have outlined these 3 steps. Step 1 is including value courses, UHV, in the present curriculum. What curriculum we have, we add uh, universal human values or some course on some input on values, human values. So that step is value education. We found UHV to be very effective, so I'm using that as the example. Of course, whatever we teach has to be universal. It has to be rational. It has to be verifiable by the student, and it has to lead to harmony and not, disharmony at any level. And it has to be all encompassing all aspects of living. So that kind of input has been put together in the form of courses and books and so on. So I'll explain that. But I'm saying that the first step would be adding this kind of input in the present with the present curriculum. After we are able to do that successfully, we can start working on ensuring that all our subjects are value based. All our subjects teach sustainability, and we implement that sustainability. It's not just teaching. We have to do research, we have to do the extension, we have to do the implementation, we have to make it available on the ground. So sustainable ways of producing energy, sustainable ways of using physical things. So all that we have to do. So our courses should not be depleting nature in any way, exploiting nature in any way. Our, production processes. So we have to teach that in our institutions, for example. And similarly, all other subjects have to be value-based. So when we reach there, it will be something which can be slowly visible in living and slowly visible in the whole society. So that second step is value-based education. Values are embedded in all subjects, not just, stuck onto an existing subject, but each subject is reworked out. So it is nature friendly and human friendly. So all that we have to do. Step 3, and that's a very big step. It's going to take a long time. But if we are sure that that is the direction we want to take, we will take that direction. And already there are very good examples. I was looking at that Iceland, uh, how they are producing energy, geothermal energy. So most of their energy production is geothermal in nature. It's very interesting. Zero exploitation. and they are using very high technology to do that. Their sidewalks are warmed by steam. So it's very interesting. So that all those things can be done if we are able to see that that is what we want to do. So like that, there are many good examples, but we have to make this pervasive in all of education for all the subjects. And we have to practice that in our living in harmony during education and before the child comes to school. So education is not only what is happening formally. Of course, that is also formal, but everything else also has to be supportive of that. The environment at home, the environment in the marketplace, environment in the whole society. So all of that put together has to be there. That change will happen when step 2 is successful. Step 3 is a natural outcome of steps 1 and 2, and that is value-based living in harmony. So that is where we want to get to a humane society. And right now, if we can see that we are at step 1, and perhaps even very early stages of step 1. And if we keep moving in this direction, step 1, then step 2, then step 3 will be a natural outcome. So when we are looking at step 1 in a little bit more detail, we can see that we have to do education, research, and extension. So all these 3 things have to be part of this value education. The first part will be in the form of developing ourselves, developing the teachers, courses for the students, internships, and we can put it together in a curricular format. We can have extracurricular and co-curricular activities to augment that. So all that is part of the education. Then of course it has to be augmented with research. And research can include research into the traditional systems, the traditional knowledge that is there, to draw out the essence of that and see what is valuable from that and use that. There are beautiful examples from the tradition. So I was looking into this water management system in Rajasthan in India. It's a very interesting system of a series of wells, series of water collection, what they call baulis. And Rajinder Singh ji has done amazing work on that. So there are traditional systems that are already there. So we can learn from those and augment our learning from that. So both the traditional knowledge and the formal knowledge, they can be looked into, researched, combined, and we can draw meaningful conclusions out of all of that. And then of course extension, that not just leave it for sort of thinking about it, but also implementing it and reaching out beyond the educational institution, ultimately in all the dimensions, all the systems in the society. So for right now, we can start with hospitals, old age homes, slums, jails, so those kind of places which are unnecessary in the sense that if we have human consciousness, there will be less of those or none of those, isn't it? So there we can start with the extension. So now we'll talk a little bit more about education. Now, the work that has been done, that has been presented in the first part of this conference, I'm summed up over here. What are the key things that have been developed so far? And all these assets are freely available to you for implementing in your own institutions. So there's a clear vision for human education, holistic and value-based education. There is a program for it, the 3 steps: value education, value-based education, and value-based living. Step 1 is articulated in a little bit of detail, but the other 2 steps we have to do a lot of work in those. But those will naturally follow if we are successful at step 1. Then we have a very, I would say, natural process of self-exploration. So you can be self-referential yourself if you look into things yourself. So the answer is not necessarily outside, it is within. So we have to explore within and discover the answers that already lie within us. And I'm sure that through the keynotes you would have been asked this question, whether relationship is naturally acceptable or opposition is naturally acceptable. So you can find the answer. You don't need to be told about the answer. So that kind of self-exploratory process can help to look into things. So there is a strong self-exploratory process. There are 16 books, 8 courses for students, and 12 types of faculty development programs, and also other programs, but I mentioned just the key ones over here. The team has an experience of more than 800 faculty development programs, and there have been more than 200,000 registrations. So a lot of experience is there. And there are many institutions that are working on it very, very diligently. So I've just put 37 over here, but there are a lot more than that, I'm sure. There are a large number of faculty members, 83,000 faculty members who have been through these programs and are working in their institutions that belong to perhaps 237 universities. So maybe there are 4,000 or so colleges that are making this effort. These 237 universities have appointed university coordinators to coordinate this effort. And all of this effort is being done by a network of volunteers who are doing this out of their sense of responsibility towards the society. So all this work is pro bono, honorary work. This conference is offered as a gift to you from the volunteers. So all these assets are there for you to make use of. This is the first part, the vision. It has been published by the All India Council for Technical Education. It contains the vision, the educational programs, and steps for implementation. This has a nice list of projects that students can do. So somebody had asked me earlier, not in this session, but earlier session, about the projects, what can students do? Some socially relevant projects. So all that is part of this book. You can download it. These 16 books, the first 2 on the left hand side, they are the core books on human values, and these have been translated into several languages and available in Hindi and Punjabi right now, and slowly being translated by with the help of AICTE. Excuse me. Kumar Sila. Excuse me. So the books for the text for the human values courses are well articulated in these books, right from school, 9th, 10th and 9th to 12th class books. And there's a very nice book that has recently been issued about holistic human health. So all this material is available for you. You can download the soft copies free of charge from our website. The material that is in all of these books has these 4 components, I would say, or this part is highlighted in these books or in this text. The approach, which is solution-centric approach rather than problem-centric approach. So we are talking about the aspirations more than the issues. If we are clear about our aspirations, we have a clear endpoint, clear satisfaction point. So with that as the base, these books are there or this material is there. So the vision for human education, for holistic and value-based education, is what these books contain or this material contains. There's an overview first of the existential harmony and ethical human conduct. To start with, we look at the overview. Then we go into the depth of things, understanding the human being, understanding nature, and understanding the existence comprehensively. And finally, we look at the vision for human society. So these are the foundational material. This is just the starting material, but all the material has these 4 components to start with. It has been put together as all these courses. On the left hand side, you see the the foundational courses. UHV 1 is an introduction to universal human values, and this is put together as a part of the student induction program. It has been included in the student induction program in many universities. Many institutions are running that. UHV 2 is a foundation course in human values and professional ethics. It is about understanding harmony and ethical human conduct. Then UHV, the next one is a foundation course in holistic human health, its philosophy and practice. So with these 3 foundational courses, foundational material, we start developing a very holistic and humane world vision. And then there are these advanced courses on the right hand side, and universities and regulatory bodies are putting it together as a minor degree in universal human values. So it can be, it is available, these courses, these higher level courses can also be run as open electives. So before I go into all this, if there are any questions or observations, please feel free to do that.
Yes, humble request to delegates to raise hand.
If there is any question, otherwise we'll move ahead. Yeah. Okay. So I'll explain the foundational inputs in a little bit more detail. The advanced courses we can discuss at a later point in time, but you can see it in the in the in that AICT document that I just showed you. निकाल के दे। एक So I'll discuss a little bit of detail about the foundation courses, UHV 1, 2, and this health course. So UHV 1 is intended to provide a glimpse of universal human values and how going by values leads to living a fulfilling life. So once a student has a glimpse of it, then they become more interested in finding out more. It develops the interest. And if they are able to sort out some of their existing issues, then they become very interested. And there are a whole lot of students over here where I am right now at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. And we have been having very good discussion with them. So once they get interested, they go for more in-depth learning. So UHV1 contains 15 sessions, and they are very discussion type of sessions rather than lectures. And the discussion includes the aspirations and concerns. It includes self-management, health, interpersonal relationships, and society and the natural environment. So it gives an overview of everything and connect it to the aspirations and concerns, how we can achieve our aspirations and how we can address our concerns at the root. So that is the UHV1. It is a part of the student induction program. The induction program is essentially designed for a smooth transition from the school and many times preparation, the coaching environment to higher education. So this transition, it is very helpful if we are able to provide this UHV1 input so that they can see that we are embedded in harmony and we can also be that, we can live in harmony. AICTE has put together this very nice program for induction, which contains all these three elements of holistic and value-based education. So it has a component on human values, that is UHV1. It has 5 modules on the traditional knowledge systems, and it has some modules also on nature-friendly and human-friendly technologies and management systems. So it has an induction program designed for 3 weeks. Now, very importantly, following that induction program, for the rest of the time that the student is in the institution, the recommendation is for a faculty mentor program. So faculty mentors can mentor the students, maybe 20 students in small groups of 20 students. And in, however many number of students are there, depending on the large, if there are large numbers, it might be more than 20. And if the student population is less, then it can be less. So it's about 20 students for each faculty mentor. And they nurture them throughout the time that they are there in your institution. So a faculty mentor program for the duration of the program that they are attending at your institution. Along with a student buddy program, which is a senior student as an elder sibling for 5 newly joined students. So these two are very important to continue the exploration and continue the development of newly joined students. And along with that, if they work on socially relevant projects, then they are also implementing what they have learned in a very focused way. Of course, they'll be implementing it in many dimensions of their living. So this is part of the student induction program recommendation. Following that, perhaps in the 3rd semester or 4th semester, or even earlier if it is possible, to have this foundation course on human values and professional ethics. It's a 1-semester 3-credit course. It contains 28 lectures and 14 practice sessions. Now, these practice sessions are very important. So, it's not just a lecture. It is, number one, a discussion in the classroom, as well as practice in the lab, or lab is the life. So, it is both the discussion on the core content and practice in the practice sessions.
Bhaiya,
Yes.
one question is from Chandrasekhar D. Bhogale ji.
Yes.
He's asking whether UHV included in MBBS curriculum.
Yeah, we are having a panel discussion on health, holistic health, and slowly that is being adopted by medical colleges. And I'm happy to share that the premier institution which is working on this is the SRM IST. In their medical wing, they are implementing the course. There is Adesh University that is implementing. And in Bhutan, there is a Kesar Gilpo University. They are implementing. So it started out small, and as they are able to see good examples, then it will be. I'll invite you to look into the recommendations of the panel on health during the closing session. So there you will get more idea. But certainly it is required, and there is a need, and it can certainly be augmented by study on universal human values and the health, holistic human health course. Okay, so we can see the recommendations at the end. And if you are a medical college, I mean, you are representing a medical college, you are working for a medical college, you can look into it for yourself and then make your choice. Okay. The UHV2 includes topics which are discussed about harmony in the human being, harmony in the family, in human-human relationship, and harmony at the societal level and at the level of nature. And then finally, the implications of understanding harmony in the workplace. As your conduct is humane, your conduct in the workplace will also be humane. It will be ethical. So that's the approach that we are taking. So it contains both these pieces of human values and professional ethics. The course on holistic human health is also put together as a 1-semester 3-credit course, and it is also in 28 lectures and 14 practice sessions. So it's very interesting. The practice sessions will help the student to see that there is a circadian rhythm, and if we are in tune with that circadian rhythm, I mean, this is just an example I'm saying. If we are in tune with that natural rhythm, then it has a nice effect on our body. If they're able to see simple things like that, then they'll explore into these universal health principles, and they are very definite principles of health that we can look into. And based on these universal health principles are recommendations as an example of making effort to live in accordance with these universal health principles. And there's a very nice health tracker to keep track of health. So this course talks about all these things: health of the human being, that is health of the self and body, and the health of the environment, that is the health of the family, the society, and nature, because all these are interrelated and interdependent to a large extent. So it talks about health very holistically. So that's the other foundation course. You can augment the curricular inputs that I've just talked about with elective courses with socially relevant projects and social internships at uh, locations with people who are working for the society in some way, who are, or it can be NGOs, it can be CSOs. So in addition to these formal inputs, you can have all of this. You can also have co-curricular activities, practical activities, like self-run student residences. It makes a lot of difference if we are living together in a student residence and managing our affairs ourselves. So there is nobody else to manage our affairs. We are doing it ourselves. So we are living together, we are cleaning together, we are cooking together, you know. So all that we are doing together. We are teaching each other, we are augmenting each other's learning. So we are living together. So later on in the next session, I think you will have a good example from Punjab Technical University on this particular aspect. You can have workshops in student residences. This institution where I am, they do that, and it has had a very interesting, very positive impact. Visits to socially and environmentally conscious educational institutions, NGOs, CSOs. So these visits can inspire our students. So these set of kind of co-curricular activities. Then extracurricular activities, we can have all the cultural clubs that are there, the societies that are there in the campus. They can be guided by a student activity center, guided towards harmony. So all this can be done, the sports and games, the food that students have in the student mess. So all that can be guided, and that can be in line with living in harmony. And this will naturally result in volunteering, in service. So the students will start voluntarily volunteering. I mean, they'll start going to adult education, for adult education, helping people around them in old age homes, in hospitals, slums, jails, etc. So that can also be included as a voluntary activity. So all this will help in strengthening the value inputs. And the expected outcome of this has been discussed in the education keynote. I'll briefly mention that it will result in a holistic vision of life. It will result in students being socially responsible, environmentally conscious students. They'll be inclusive. They will have ethical human conduct. They'll be able to take care of their own health and health of the people around them in natural ways, in ways in which there is sustainable health. They will have respect for all the effort that has been made for their excellence. So all of that will be a natural outcome of uh, uh, value education. And as we go to value-based education, you will see more and more of this kind of outcome in the students. So if we take any human development, these would be some parameters on which human development can be gauged. So at the student level, there will be some progress. At the next level, there will be more progress. So all that can be gauged with appropriate instruments, which can make an estimation of where one is with the holistic vision of life and so on. So I'll stop here and see if there are any queries, anything, any observations.
Yeah, many are watching from YouTube platform also. So from there, one question is coming. Can this course be implemented for non-professional courses, for example, arts and commerce also?
Of course. In fact, later on in the presentation, I will share about the UGC directive to their training centers to include this course or include this material in their training programs. Yes, certainly it can. It is it's very basic. It is for any and every human being. So we have tried this with small children of age 3 all the way to people of age 97 and from all walks of life. Now this is articulated in in English, and it is articulated with these presentations and so on. So when we talk to the traditional, some of the um, 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 people who don't know how to read and write, there the uptake is even better, and we don't need all this PPT and all this stuff. So yes, so it is applicable to any and every human being. But this has been put together to be a part of mainstream education. Okay. But the content by itself is applicable to any human being. Okay. Today, if you see, there is a lot of effort, for example, in Bhutan, to put it into primary education, to kindergarten and even lower classes. So it won't be taught like this, of course. It will be taught in a play method. But they will be able to see that we are related to each other. We have the same goal, and we are complementary to each other. Children are able to see it very easily. Here we have to do a lot of work to see that. I was telling somebody that just look at your body. It is made up of trillions of cells. Okay. Are they fighting with each other, or they are collaborating with each other? I mean, that's a very trivial example, but you just think about it. And why are they collaborating with each other? Why are they working for harmony of the larger body? You ask that question. So you can look at things, you can see that ultimately that we are embedded in coexistence. We are embedded in um, harmony, and we are embedded in relationship. And if we are able to see that, we will be that. We will live like that. And that will be a very natural way to live. If we have assumed something other than this coexistence, harmony, and relationship, we are in trouble. So we have to just see what it is actually. What is this that we are embedded in? So if we are able to see that, and slowly we can, reach out to the students to start with, and they will be able to see those things as we go along, isn't it? There's a very beautiful quote from Lao Tzu that those who flow as life flows know no fear and know no tear. something like that. I'm not sure that.
There is no other force.
There's no kya?
There is no other force.
Say that.
This saying goes like, those who flow as life flows. No, there is no other force. They feel no fear, they feel no wear, they feel no tear. They need no mending, they need no repair.
Yes, it's very nice. You know. So if you are able to see that and be that, that's all that is required. And it's already within. We are embedded in it. We just have to see that, realize it. And education is an enabler to do that. Okay. Then we'll have students graduating with these attributes. Okay.
Bhaiya, let me make you aware about one recommendation from Dean Hyderabad, Chandrasekhar Patnaik ji.
Yes.
He's saying currently the AICT approval is going on. Will you please think of recommending to submit an undertaking or affidavit to the effect that for every 20 intake, there will be at least one UHV, at least introductory level certified faculty, please.
I think educational institutions, universities particularly, are free to make these choices. And if they are convinced that this is the right choice, they will make those choices. AICT is a regulatory body and it can recommend, and it has already recommended. So we have to take those recommendations seriously and work on them. And you can see that AICTE is a very good example of a regulator that is not just regulating, it is enabling this to happen. See all these 83,000 teachers that have been uh, reached, that is on account of the effort that AICTE has made. Their advocacy has resulted in this. Of course, the work has been done by the UHV team, but they have enabled that to happen, isn't it? So, educational institutions are not necessarily, they have to be forced to do something. They can choose their own destiny. They can choose their own programs. To a large extent, they can choose. There is a minimum set that is recommended. And they, on top of that, see these universities like SRM is not forced by any body to include medical education. They are doing it out of their sense of responsibility. They are doing this because they can see that UHV and these health courses are effective and will make a difference. So if they can see something that is effective and worth doing, they are making that choice. And they are certainly making effort to be a model that the authorities will take in, they'll take notice of. Their pro-vice chancellor was a panelist in the panel on health. So they are making those recommendations. So they are making that effort very sincerely. And any institution that can see the value will make that effort. They are free to do that. Isn't it? So I hope the YouTubers are able to hear. All right. So all this can reach to the students if we as faculty are prepared. And for our preparation, there are complementary programs for each of the student programs. And the duration and the the mode in which they are available at this time are also listed over here. So for the introductory workshops, for the introductory programs, there is an introductory workshop. and a UHB 2 faculty development program. And for the advanced courses also, for each advanced course, there is at least one faculty development program, one or more. Okay. So those programs are there, and you can register for them. We'll share the link. I'll request Tara Prasannaji to share the link so you can register for those programs. Now AICT has done a very nice gesture. They are making these programs available to any and every faculty member, and also to any and everybody in the society, provided there is space in the program. So it's offered to, there are so many teachers who came from Bhutan who went through the program through this. So like that, there are, these programs are available free of cost to any and everybody. Okay. In addition to the faculty development programs, there are programs for the management, for the administration, and for the leadership. So, for example, the management development program for deans, directors is a 3-day program, and for the vice chancellors, the presidents, there is a 1-day program. So these kind of programs are there for the policy makers. Now this, once we have an overview, then we can go into the depth of things and start looking at it from within. So the morning session is there to look into our core content. We do practical exercises, we do a lot of sharing, lots of discussion. There's a difference between discussion and debate. So discussion is to come to the right conclusion together, while debate is for, there's a winner and a loser. So we develop when we do discussion. So this, lots of discussion is there. Each morning session program runs for 4 months about, and it runs for 1 hour per day in English and 1 hour per day in Hindi. And it's been running since 2020. So after the initial programs, faculty members can enrich themselves by going through the morning session. Now, the best part is that,
remind you about time. It's 8:37. So we may go 10 or 12 minutes more.
okay, very nice.
See.
So there's a team which is behind all these efforts of more than 500 volunteers from all across the nation, and even now in Bhutan also. So I should say, change that slide, that there are volunteers from 2 countries. They are organized in a very well knit network, a network of relationships, a network of harmonious relationships, working for a common goal. And just imagine, they have all full-time jobs, and they have 45 to 75 meetings every week. So they are very committed because they can see the value of what they are doing. Many of the teachers realize that they have a very important role in this humanity to, as a teacher. So all that, so they have many meetings, and those meetings help in both their development of themselves as well as the development of the team, and then they can offer this. So for example, this conference is a gift to you from the volunteers. Of course, it is supported by 22 organizing partners. So this is the volunteer team. And now it is developing into nodal centers at different institutions where they are making effort for reaching this to other institutions. So that team is there. You can you have the poll. So it says that what is the potential of UHV in fulfilling the need of human values in education? So this is very high, 100%. Okay, and your interest in exploring the potential by attending a full UHV workshop. So what is the answer of this question? Second question. Yeah, that is also very high. There are only one person who has said they are ambivalent about their response. Okay, so yeah, can remove this one.
We have one faculty, Srinivas Buddha from Kakinada, wish to ask something.
Yes.
Ji Srinivas ji.
Yes.
Please ask. Mic is there with you, Srinivas ji.
Okay, I'll try to finish. Then, if there is time, then we can have.
Ji, ji.
These regulatory bodies are taking a lot of responsibility, particularly AICTE, the All India Council for Technical Education. They have a cell, a UHV cell, 2 national committees, and they are implementing this. Like I said earlier, they are not only providing the policy, but they are also checking whether that policy is followed or not. But they are enabling that policy to be implemented. So through many of the faculty development activities. Similarly, the UGC, the University Grants Commission in India, is also augmenting this in their directives. So there are very strong policies, and they have recently included a Universal Human Values course or Universal Human Values inputs for their teachers, so that UGC is making that effort. And in terms of recommendations, I would give 2 recommendations. One is for the administration. At your institution, at your university, appoint a university coordinator and develop a UHV cell at your university that will make effort to include these courses in your academic curriculum so that the colleges can implement these courses. They have a platform to implement those courses. And for the faculty to start preparing yourself if you're not already started. Okay, so prepare yourself by attending these programs. All the programs that are available, so you can start attending those programs. And for more information, you can look into the details through the vision document, the core content documents, as well as the website and the YouTube channel. I'll request our tech team to flash the details so you can take a look at that. Okay, so with that, I'll close. Thank you very much. And if there are still questions that our delegates have, I'll take a couple of questions, but I'm waiting for Bhavnaji's observations. We'll leave some time for that. Yes.
Thank you, Sri Rajalasthana ji, for your inspiring and deeply insightful address. Current education stage 4, which emphasizes on industrial revolution, collaboration and interdisciplinary skills, has its own merits and demerits. But the future education stage 5 demands transformation, keeping in mind holistic emotional intelligence and lifelong learning, encompassed by solution-centric approach, which is prime essence of this conference. Your insights have provided us with a roadmap to align individual aspirations with sustainable development, reminding us of the critical role education plays in shaping a humane society. Thank you so much, Rajul sir.
Thank you.
As we conclude this impactful session, I would like to invite our guest of the session, Madam Bhavna Gargji, Joint Secretary to Government of India UIDAI, for closing remarks. She is joining us from Chandigarh. Bhavna ma'am, we were expecting you since starting of the session, and we are waiting eagerly for to hear you. Thank you so much. Welcome. Bhavna ma'am, you can unmute yourself. Mic is there with you. Bhavna ma'am, hope you are able to hear us. If any technical issue you are facing, you can contact to the person connecting you through phone.
Yeah, meantime, we can take that question that was there.
So if there is any question from delegates, let me invite those questions. Must be asking about how to implement this UHB at your institution in your country.
Or somebody who has implemented, they can tell about their own experience.
Yes.
While we wait for Bhavna ji.
Yeah, one question was there, Bhaiya, how to make nodal center in any of the institution.
Oh yeah, now we have Bhavna ji. Namaste Bhavna ji.
Hello, Bhavna, you are muted.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Welcome.
Yeah,
thank you.
you're most welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm happy to be part of this international conference.
So we are eager to hear you, ma'am. We wish to get your reflection about UHV or means about this conference, whatever you feel. Please share.
Yes, I'm very happy that, such a large-scale conference has been organized, and we all understand that universal human values are very much should be a very much an integral part of higher education. And I'm so happy that now UGC and AICTE are promoting them as part of the regular course curriculum. And as I was just hearing, about the holistic human health session, that it's very important for individuals also to realize that how they are growing in a socially responsible manner. And especially when they were talking about your health part, so I was just thinking being environmentally conscious, it also comes if one thinks about the trees are our external lungs. So if we just take care of our trees or our environment, so it's not just me individually breathing, but it is basically the whole universe is integrated as one. So that feeling is very important, I think, because people who study in higher education and they only come and become tomorrow's policymakers and tomorrow's citizens and in businesses. So if we have to have sustainability in businesses, if we want to have people being responsible citizens, then it's very important that at higher education level, people understand, people imbibe the human values. And I'm very happy, and I must congratulate you all that you're all doing a great job. And teachers are the most important, kadi in this whole shrinkhala. How the teachers lead by example as well as by their words, because each one of us have grown through this, like something which your teachers told you, they have stood by us and that has served us. So all the best to everyone, and thank you, and all my best wishes.
Thanks, Bhavna, for joining us. Let me just mention that me and Bhavna were batchmates during BTech at IITK, and we
Yes,
had done skits and plays together also.
yes.
And
Kumar
Bhavna
is a
had
very
top,
dedicated person,
True.
and Bhavna had topped the IAS examination in 1999. She was the topper of
Yes.
the
Yes,
batch.
We are
yeah,
And
aware about this, and in fact, we shared this information with our delegates too, ma'am.
yeah.
So you are good in academics, and you are, means, on
yeah,
a
she's also
very
a very
prestigious
good
post.
Bharatnatyam dancer.
Oh.
No, Kathak, not Bharatnatyam.
Kathak dancer. And let me
Yeah,
also mention
yeah,
that
yeah.
she has quite been helpful to us in promoting value education in Punjab. We have approached her quite often, and she was also a part of the valedictory session of one workshop that was conducted at Punjab University. And she's totally confident about this program, and she has been promoting us time and again. And I wish she can give some more time. In fact, we conducted one small session for all her colleagues in her office also once.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Very
so
nice.
So
nice,
Good
thank
to
you so
hear
much.
it.
nice. Thanks, Bhavna.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for blessing
Thank you.
us.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thanks. We are happy to have you here. See. So we can take one or two questions. One question is from Raju Namdev Raoji. So I'm allowing him to talk. Raju ji, now you can
जी
use mic. Yes.
yes. जी namaste. Good evening to all. Uh, I am Dr. Rajuan Panchal from JSPM's Rajeshri Shaw College of Engineering, Tathavade, Pune. Uh, in our institute, it is an autonomous institute, and we are implemented the UHV in second year, third semester. And I received the two classes, that is second year mechanical A division and B division. In both the classes, the 72 and 73 students, that is 145. And in these students, the 32 lectures plan and UHV2 was we are conducting, that is the 3 credit course. In this case, I implemented our morning sessions experiment, that is the observation self by the self. And in this case, the students has responded very nicely. This is the one of the small sharing from my side. Ji, namaste. This is the one of the small sharing. Ji.
Yeah, very nice. Nice to hear.
Also I have the document of every student. More than 80 students participated and they shared their experiences along with this. So I just comment on this. Do the practice for the daily or weekly like that, and we are also going forward that. Ji. This
Yeah,
is the
thank you for
guidance of
sharing.
Kumar Bhaiya, Gopal Babu Bhaiya, and Umesh Bhaiya, Vinay Bhaiya. Under these my mentors, I'm working till today. Ji,
Thank you very much for sharing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Ji, ji.
Dr. Fadari from Nigeria, if any reflection from your side, you are most welcome. We give mic. Yes, sir. You are having mic with you. If you want to share something, if you want to reflect on the session, please, most welcome. Any of the delegate, if you want to share anything or ask anything, you are most welcome.
Sir, there is one question. That is how to start nodal center at our Aditya University.
Start with the UHV cell. Start with developing your faculty, conducting faculty development programs locally at your institutions. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Is that coming from? Yeah, who is? Oh, that is from YouTube.
Hello,
Okay.
this is Dr. Fadare on the line.
Hello.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, am I audible, sir? I am B. Srinivas from Bulra Srinivas from Aditya University. Am I audible?
Yes. First, I'll answer the question. I mean, take the
already
question on.
question is answered, sir. But can I share a small reflection?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, we are approximately 10 to 12 faculty teaching the subject universal human values in our campus. I'm not a doctorate, so course coordinator is some other faculty. But from the inputs from the morning session, 5:30 to 6:30 a.m., most of the time I attend, and whatever inputs I take, I try to forward to the other 10, 12 faculty who are teaching this subject. And I'm a fan of Gopal Babu sir and Sharmila Didi and a few other people who are doing this one. Occasionally, I listen Hindi. I understand Hindi also to some extent. I am from South India, Andhra Pradesh, Kakinada.
Yes.
And we have been, I think initially when a subject is allotted, I am engineering graduate in electronics department. I am MTech in ECE. But initially when I took this subject, I was a little bit hesitant whether I can justify or not. UHV1, I have qualified in 2021 or so.
What is your observation?
UHV2, I attended, but I could not get certification because of some qualifying attendance and marks and all. So I was very keen attending this workshop. So yesterday also up to 3 o'clock, I was listening the whole things and all. And then night 3 o'clock. And it's been a very wonderful activity. I have seen Madam Upasana, Madam, and a few people working long and very late. Rahul, our Gopal Babu sir, in both session, morning session, day session, night also, few people are working hard and are really get motivated by seeing all the work for you. I will try to commit at least to be a part of a member representing our university as far as possible with my health and other things permit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All the best. If you need any help, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, there was
Dr. Fadare, you are most welcome. You were willing to give your reflection.
There was somebody from Nigeria, probably, no, who was trying to ask some question, Didi.
Yeah, Dr. Fadare is there. Yes, Dr. Fadare.
Hello. Good day, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Dr. Fadare from Nigeria. I just want to add my own opinion to the, yes. In my own opinion, I feel universal human value is essential and is very, very important. However, as students at the tertiary institution, they have already, their behavior is already formed. Some of them find it very difficult to unlearn and relearn. I have been an educationist. So in my own opinion, when we want to talk of universal human value, it is expected that for this program or this curriculum to really gain ground, we should try to introduce it to the, from the elementary level, where students have their behavior reformed and, they have already made perception of life. as an educationist, based on my practical experience, I've discovered that when students get to the secondary level, it becomes so difficult for them to, relearn values that are supposed to be learned at the nursery section or at the primary section. So introducing this universal human value curriculum only at the, tertiary level might not really gain the weight it is expected to gain, because children or people form their behavior at the elementary stage of their life. There is a speaker that spoke yesterday. She had a program where she introduced the universal human value to, should we say, people at the prison, children at the early level, at the secondary level. In my own opinion, our program was able to make better impact because she, assessed the children or human at the early stage of their lives, where they are forming behaviors and they are forming values. So my reference to Prof, it is advisable as, should we say, academicians, and especially those of us that invested in education, that we should look forward to get partners that we can partner with, that can introduce, this curriculum at an early age to the school system, to the educational system. I am in this system now, and I'm opportune to have access to people that are in the private sector because I'm an investor in the private sector. I'm an entrepreneur, and I also work at the tertiary level. So I am saying, in my own view, I promise to do something about this. Looking forward to, get collaboration with people that have the intention or the heart to touch humanity by introducing this universal human value curriculum from the primary level, preschool level, at the secondary level, so that it can have more impact when we get to the tertiary level. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very valid observations, Dr. Fadari. At the tertiary level, at the secondary level, and at the higher secondary level, right from actually the home, it should start. So right now we are working to develop the teachers of the future, because school is a very huge numbers are very, very huge. So that's why we started with developing the future teachers, future parents. So both these have to be prepared for really making an effective program that will be sustainable for school children. So the parents have to be, supportive of these efforts, and the teachers have to be more of role models at the school level for the school children to, start looking into things for themselves. But of course, there are those who are prepared teachers. They are already working on this. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, if you have heard the sharing by the Madhya Pradesh Rajya Anand Sansthan, they have started working with a large number of government schools, around 450 schools in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And their efforts are validating, or they are exactly what you said, that it is much easier at the school level. But the teachers have to be prepared, and that teacher preparation, for preparing those teachers, we have to be prepared. And that is a very huge effort. So I would welcome you to participate in online program, and if you can come face to face, that would be even better. It would be a good opportunity for us to exchange these views and take it forward. So we'll be happy. I'll request the volunteers to contact Dr. Fadari, and we can be in touch. Okay. So best
Okay, thank you,
wishes.
Prof. Best wishes to you too. Thank you.
You are welcome, and all the best. You are from which? You are from Uganda.
No, I'm from Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Very nice. It would give us an opportunity for more, you can say, exchange of views.
Okay, Prof. I look forward to that.
We look forward to meeting you in face to face.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fadare. Wishes from my side too. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Doc.
participating.
You're welcome.
See. Extend our deepest gratitude to Shri Raju Lasthanaji for sharing your profound perspectives and practical approaches to embedding universal human values in education. Thanks to Madam Bhavna Gargji for accepting our invitation and share her blessings. Thank you to our audience for your active participation throughout and thought-provoking questions, which have enriched this session truly. Thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to see you in the panel discussion at 9:30 p.m. Indian time. That is after half an hour short break. Until then, take care.